So True decided to go on a car rant on Monday, September 20th, bashing and fat shaming people and just being really disrespectful. Maybe because he has to sleep in a car. Only one half of this information applies to is to Nature Boy. That's who he should be telling this to. This is who put him in this situation. And this is what's further keeping him in this situation, because instead of him leaving this whole situation, being a father to his child and moving on from this, or teaching the knowledge from a distance where he can still be there for his son, because these are the early years that children need their mother and fathers. True rather be sleeping in a car, disrespecting just about everybody and everything, because people are not living the way he's living. He acts like he is very happy and content with his life, and he's not. He knows that he has put himself in a situation that he's probably stuck mentally, and he feels as though he can't get himself out of that situation. So what he does is to get the focus off of True, he keeps it on the audience, on the people, when all the information and the things that he's saying is advice that he needs to be telling himself. But sometimes we feel better and we can live in denial longer when we blame others and point the fingers, when the finger should really be pointed at yourself. True is really upset right now. He's not understanding that's why he's in a car now, because he's preaching the wrong knowledge. He's telling us the opposite of what life's all about. In order to have anything or maintain any kind of lifestyle in life, you must have a job. Nothing in life is for free. And if you wait around for handouts, you'll never in life have anything. You have to work a job. You cannot rely on people giving you donations, cash apps, super chats. You are a man. You are an able body to get out here and get a job. And you should not be entitled or dependent on somebody to take care of you because you feel as though you don't have to work. Because this is why they got evicted. They stopped paying their rent for 3 months. Their rent was $3,000 a month. Now Aya has on her credit that she owes rent of $12,000. But Aya can't pay that $12,000 because she doesn't have a job. And that's going to be used against her in the future if she was to ever try to get another place. So Aya needs to also look at her life and how Nature Boy has very much so affected all of them. Every day, this dude gets up on Big O and he's talking to people that are not even listening to the message. They're listening to a joke because it is funny. He's a grown man who's literally waiting around for somebody that's going to be indicted and sentenced and could do up to 25 to 30 years for the charges that he's been been allegedly accused of. I was going to say convicted of. He has not been convicted yet, but it's not looking good for Nature Boy. But I think they use the excuse that they're there for him so that they don't have to be productive citizens of society. They don't have to work a job. They don't have to have any responsibilities because they're trying to hold Nature Boy down. When I think that they're trying to really use this as an excuse so that they don't have to work or do anything. And who wants to live that kind of life where you're just sitting around all day, nothing to do? If you're not on Big O, what are you doing? Walking through nature, but you have no money or nothing to show for. I don't think that they realize what Nature Boy has done to their life. I think that they definitely have checked out of reality, and they were looking at Nature Boy's life, and they're not understanding Nature Boy lives that lifestyle off of social media, off of his followers, people who at one point of time believed in the knowledge. And he still had followers that lived the way Nature Boy had taught them, when he was melanated. So they still give him respect because he did, in a way, change people's lives for the better. But the people that was closest to him, he changed their lives for the worse. And this is the product of what happens when you put all of your trust and faith into man, because man will always let you down. And we have to understand that you can't fall short in life and think that somebody's going to be around to pick the pieces up. You have to fall, make your mistakes, and you have to learn from them. You can't have another man or woman make a decision with your life, because it's bad enough we can make bad decisions for ourselves. But when you have someone that is from a hurt place, who's blaming their parents for not being there for them when they were a child, and they're 40 years old, and they're hurting people because of the hurt that they received as a child, and they haven't gotten over that. They just basically just, you know, hurt people because they were hurt, like the hurt people, and they don't see anything wrong with it because they haven't really healed from their own, as he calls it, generational curse. And now they're trying to, because misery likes company, they want the misery to be inflicted on the company that they're keeping. And I don't think that they understand that they were definitely hanging around the barbershop too long, and it was getting a haircut. It's an old saying, I always say it. They were hanging around a bad seed, and now they turn bad. And they now have to pick up the pieces of their life. But when you live in a lie, when somebody continuously tells you a lie, and you know at first it's a lie, if you stay around that toxic person for a long time, you tend to start to believe the lie. And you start to you try to make it make sense when it doesn't make any sense. And then you start living like that toxic person lives. Like the old saying goes, if you want to have money, you hang around people that get money. If you want to be broke, you hang around people that are broke. The same thing applies if you want to be toxic and have a miserable life, you hang around miserable people. And that is what they're not understanding. This dude had issues from the gate. And people are good, especially people with their own issues, for talking about what you need to do with your life. And their life could be far worse than yours, but they're trying to give you advice about your life. They're trying to guide you on the path of righteousness, and they're not even guiding themselves. So you got to pay attention who you give yourself to, who you get advice from, who you hang around, who you respect, who you think you can trust. Because sometimes people's alternative motives is not for your best interest, it's for theirs. And that has been how it's always been for Nature Boy. They went over to carbonation, they went over to a tropical place. It was beautiful, but you were servants to Nature Boy. You had to give something to Nature Boy in order to be even in the presence of this man. And you shouldn't have to give anyone anything to even be friends with that person. Nature Boy lived that kind of life because of the company that he kept. They gave all their worldly possessions to him just to learn the knowledge, not knowing you don't have to be in front of Nature Boy in the flesh. You could learn the knowledge from a distance. At the time he was speaking, when it was melanated, the knowledge online. People are running from something. That is why they go over there. They're basically trying to run from themselves, and they figure out, I can't run from myself. Who do you know has ever ran from themselves? Nobody I know. Because when you're going through issues in your life, you can't run from yourself. And if you know somebody that has, let me know. Because I'm quite sure if you could, a lot of people would be doing it. And by me saying that, I feel as though these people are running from themselves. They ran from themselves in a physical sense, in a mental sense as well, because they ran into Nature Boy, and they thought that if they went over there and was with him, a part of his community, that their life would get better, like it would just happen overnight. not knowing when you're going through issues in your life, it didn't just get like that overnight. It took a process. And it's going to take a process for you to get back right. I mean, it is what it is. It's called life. You're going to have your ups and you're going to have your downs. And the down sucks. Sometimes people don't even want to be here in the moment when you're going through the downtime. But just know God ain't going to put you through nothing you can't handle, and you'll get through it, and it's going to make you stronger. And you'll look back and sometimes you'll laugh like, I was really stressing over this. We all think that when we go through a downtime, it'll never end. But it does. It really does. You can't possibly stay stuck in that moment forever. Things will get better. Sometimes things get worse for something greater to happen. And that's how we have to look at life. There's going to be ups and downs. It's going to be heartache and pain. That's life. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we're going to all have to deal with. I don't care how much money you have and whatever kind of life that you have. I've learned from, working for myself, and, I'm okay financially, but I still have problems. I still wake up some days and I'm sad, or I go to bed with issues. Money to me only makes you be able to pay your rent without worrying about how it's going to get paid, and to be able to put food in your refrigerator without worrying about where you're going to get money to get it, or to be able to get, things that you want but don't need. It helps you live a little better, but it does not make a person truly happy, and it doesn't solve any of your problems. They're still going to be there at the end of the day. You just have to deal with them, correct whatever's going wrong, and just try to not keep repeating that same pattern for it to keep continuously happening.